What is up, everyone? Welcome back, run fans, to Light It Up with me, Sam. Today we're at Wakehurst Parkrun. Not done Wakehurst before, but I've got to be home by 9:45 today, so I've got to run a quick one, and it's got to be close to my house. So instead of tailgate at Ifield, which I haven't done either, I thought I'd come here and try this out. Now it's hilly, it's not flat like Hove last week, but we'll see if we can get ourselves a PB or sub 20. Let's see how we go on. It is absolutely freezing. It's about 2 degrees. I've got the Meta Speed Skies on, which are very grippy, but I've also only got a vest on under this and arm warmers, so I'm going to have to go fast, or as fast as I can go, to try and warm myself up, because I can't feel my fingers. Oh, yeah, a bit hilly this one, but I wanted to do a hilly one. It was windy in Hove last week, got my PB 19:24, so if I can get close to that, I'll be over the moon. If not, just trying for a sub 20 would also be great, and also good for my life, because I need to do that to get home in time. Nothing like a bit of pressure to give some motivation. Yeah.
Here we are then, run fans. We are starting at Wakehurst. As you can see, it's a narrow path and I'm already 27th place. I'm quite far back and I need to skip ahead. And as you can see from the pace and the slope, it's uphill and I'm already running at a sub 4 minute per kilometre pace. I'm coming out pretty hot. And as you can see here, as I dart between people and start to make up some places, watch my pace at the top drop. A little surge. Oh, there it was. 2:58 I hit. Not what you want to be doing in the first 30 seconds of an all-out 5k, and we're still climbing up here. The slope is pretty accurate. We're up to 9, 10%, 11%, 12%, 13% it maxes out there, and yeah, not an ideal start for me, going deep already. I've already halved the amount of places. I started at around 30th, I'm down to 15th, 14th now, and we've got the time in the bottom right, heart rate, pace, all that other jazz. We've got the course map in the bottom left. Wakehurst is very twisty turny, it's very undulating, and the perfect cross-country preparation. These two little legends absolutely flying, well done to them. But the surface wasn't too slippery. I was in my Meta Speeds, they've got great grip. So as we settle down now into a 350-ish pace, even below that, we're still climbing, and I'm coming out hot. Now, my plan, I wanted to go out fast and hang on. I didn't want to make this comfortable for myself. I didn't just want to go around, ease myself into it, do a nice negative split, because until you properly blow up, you don't know how hard you can go. All the time you're negatively splitting, that shows that you've got something left in the tank and you've finished really hard. I want to push really hard, really early, and I'm doing exactly that. As you can see, we're on a slight downslope here, and I'm at 3:34 pace. We're half a K in, so I really wanted to push it hard. There's me checking the cameras on. Push it really hard, and then hang on for dear life. And this is a great course for that because it's very undulating. So you're gonna be going into the red a lot more than if you were just on a flat course, like I did last week at Hove. Now, I would love to be slightly further forward running with this group of people ahead, but I've got nothing left at the moment. I've done all the surging I can in the first half of this kilometre, and I'm now just trying to settle into some sort of pace. But it's very hard to settle into a rhythm at this course because it is constantly up and down. There's no real flat anywhere, and running downhill has its own troubles as well as running uphill, so there's not a real place to ease into it and to gather your composure, because there's always a corner or a hill up or down coming up. So I'm at 180 beats per minute. My threshold is around 172 to 175, so I'm above the threshold at the moment, so I am draining the gas tank currently. My max heart rate is 192, and as you can see here, that gap is holding steady, but there's nothing I can do about it. I've just got to run my own race and hope that I'm going to be able to catch these guys up on some of the uphills as well as the downhills. So we'll see. Currently on the downhills, I'm losing distance from them. So something's there that I need to practice, where I let my legs go a bit more. I've got nice long legs, so I should be able to use those to my advantage, but I still think I'm running quite cautiously on my leg from my stress fracture that I got in April. So I'm not fully letting go on these sort of steeper sections. Right, that's the first kilometre then. It's a 3:54. Now the GPS is slightly out because of the trees and because of the undulations. It's not absolutely exact, but obviously the parkrun's been measured accurately, so I'm going by that and the time I got there. So nice tight hairpin here, plenty of grip in the Asics, which is great. And I'm now going to try, because we're at the sort of the lower end of the course now, I'm going to try and pick off those other runners later on in this lap. Bit further down the hill, and this young lad comes flying past me. He did really well. There was not a chance I was going to stay with him. He obviously went a bit slower at the start and eased himself in slightly more than me, but he held this pace throughout the whole race. I saw him at the end where he came in just ahead of me, so massive well done to him. Now my heart rate is still above my threshold, or just on it. I'm now at a stage where I've settled in a bit more and I feel I can handle this, but this is a 2-lap course and we're not yet even halfway around the first lap, so I'm fully aware there's some more undulations, and I'm also aware we're at the lowest point, so we've got some hills, and here is one of them now. It's got a tight left-hand turn here. We're up to 24% as we go round that hairpin. The inside is always steeper than the outside, but it's also the shortest route, so you've got to pick the lesser of two evils there, and I always go for the shorter route. This lad, I think he came third. He must be, you know, younger than 14. Absolute legend. He was flying. You'll see me congratulate him at the end. But again, these two guys obviously started a bit more conservatively and are now well within their groove and taking the pack and heading towards those lower digits for their finishing position. So I'm in 13th at the moment, and we're still climbing. I don't know why it says minus numbers there. Sometimes GPS is a bit funny, but it's a long old climb this. People say it's easier than Tilgate. I disagree. I actually think this is a tougher course than Tilgate. It's not worse in any way. I really enjoyed running it. I really loved it, but I'm pretty confident I could get a faster time at Tilgate by at least 15 to 20 seconds. There's the mile for all you Imperial fans. I thought I'd add it in. So that's a 6:21 first mile as we go through another tight hairpin, or left-hander, and we've got some of the group in range now. We've reeled them in, even though we've been overtaken by two of the other people. We're now heading towards a bit of a group, and we've got trendy cap man, white shirt, and then there's an even smaller little sprog running who's absolutely flying. He's got maybe his brother or a relation or a friend or something running with him, and they are absolutely killing it today, so massive well done to them as well. As you can hear, I am blowing slightly, and we're back on a steep slope. We're up to 12% up here. I'm trying to pump my arms, keep my cadence nice and high, but it's hard not to go into the red. And that's a second K of a 4:04. And at this point, I'm really evaluating my life choices here, and I'm thinking a sub 20 is going to be hard. I've gone out too hot. I've got too many hills coming up that are just going to break me. But I dug in. Having these people up just ahead really helped. And so this is a tiny bit of flat. This is probably the only bit of the course where it's slightly flat around this beautiful sort of country house here at Wakehurst Place. And so I just decided to try and catch my breath. Don't go too hard. I didn't rush past these people. I just ran nice and easy behind them, trying to gather myself ready for the next assault on the next lap. I will be posting the full footage of this as well as this highlights video without my commentary and stuff, just for you to watch and enjoy from start to finish. And as we go through roughly the halfway point, because the start line is just up here, I'm at around 9:45, 9:50, so that's just above my PB of 19:24. I think that is definitely out of the out of the zone at the moment for me to reach with this second lap, but definitely a sub 20 is what I'm looking for. We've got a nice little group here, and we're going up the hill that we started on, this time at a slightly slower pace. I'm holding myself back slightly because I've got to try and have a nice strong finish, but I want to keep pushing on. The moment I start to feel like it's comfortable, I realise, no, we've got to keep pushing. So I use that. I've got to try and get through these people, narrow paths yet again, and I'm getting overtaken. I'm down into, I think, sort of 11th, I think now into 12th place. Not ideal, but it's okay. We still can go for the top 10 for sure. So Fancy Hat Man and also Beanie Hat Man are running alongside White T-shirt as well. So I'm just giving a little shout out to the little Grom there because he is absolutely flying. Again, a massive well done to him. Thank you to all the fantastic volunteers. It was a Pound Hill Pounders, which is one of my running clubs. It was their takeover today and they did an absolutely fantastic job. So we're heading towards the 3rd kilometre down this steeper section now, and I'm trying to latch on to these two guys to try and take me to some further people up ahead. I can see the blue shirt lad just up. He overtook me over a lap ago, and I'm still keeping him in sight. So there's still a few people in sight that we can try and track down towards the end, because unlike flat park runs where everyone's sort of running at their max and not many people slow down or speed up, with these ones there's potential for people to have a really strong finish up the hills, and also the potential for people to have a bit of a nightmare and sort of hit a wall on those steeper sections. So it's all to play for. We've got 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, I think even 3rd place is up ahead in the distance. So let's see what we can do as we approach this 3rd kilometre. That's a 3rd kilometre then, and it's a 4:07. We have not steadied the ship whatsoever. We're still taking on plenty of water, despite feeling that we were going quite quick in that one. We've got to chase some people down. Luckily, there's lots of people to follow and really dig deep with. We've got to get our arse in gear here, and we've got to steady that ship, and we've got to really push on in the second half of this race. Now I know the course, I know what's coming, so I know when I can push a bit harder, and I know when I can try and take a slight bit of rest, ready for the next big effort. This is unlike any other park run I've done. Tilgate, you've got some hills, but it's just 2 big hills and you've got time to recover and things like that. As we hit the 2nd mile and it's 6:32, but this one is just constant up and down. There's just not a chance to get your breath back other than that last tiny bit at the end of the lap. So it's absolutely fantastic training. I cannot recommend this park run enough. I absolutely loved it. Hard work when we're going, but you know, it's worth doing. Now, I really push myself here. I overtake these 2 gentlemen, get myself back up to 7th place, and I'm pushing on now. Here's Taylor, tail walking Pound Hill Pounders. We get a fist bump. That's worth at least 15 seconds per kilometre. So now we've got that in the bag, we can really crack on and hunt down some of these other runners. Blue T-shirt man, you're next. Now, Blue T-shirt man obviously heard what I was up to because he put in a right old dig up this hill. I've been overtaken by Yellow Beanie Hat Man. He absolutely flew away in the second half, so massive fair play to him. As we go up this slope, we're hitting 15%. Remember, it's about 24% on the absolute corner of the edge of that hairpin turn. We're nearly at that 4th kilometre. Everyone says this is the hardest kilometre. I really purposely make myself enjoy it and like it and enjoy the pain, because you're still close enough to know that it's going to be over pretty soon. We haven't got that long left, and it's the 4th kilometre in 3 minutes 53, including that hill. Oh my God. Although that excitement is short-lived as Fancy Hat Man comes flying past on this upslope. So I've still got a lot of work to do. Lots of people are within range though. We've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that we can try and chase down, but everyone is finishing pretty strong currently. Yeah, not far to go, less than 1k. Let's see if we can finish strong and get under that 20-minute mark. Here we go, right hand turn into the last major hill, and I'm following Fancy Hat Man, but he's going to put in a bit of a dig here, and I've got to go in hard to chase him. through the people just finishing their first lap. A massive well done to them. 427 people at Parkrun today, which is absolutely incredible considering Wakehurst isn't in the middle of a big city or anything like that. It's great to see so many people getting out and getting it done. Now, I would not be putting in this dig if I was running on my own. I'd be thinking I'm at my absolute max, but because I'm chasing people, because of Parkrun, I'm able to push that bit harder and dig deeper and ask myself, how bad do I want it? And today, I want it bad. I want to get that sub 20, and I want to also try and take some places as well. So here we go then. It's flattening out as we come up the crest of this fancy country house, and I know I've only got about 800 meters left. The kilometers on the left hand side there are slightly out because of the undulations and the GPS being distracted by the trees and all that jazz. I've got a bit further to go, but I thought I can either sit with these guys because they're slightly slowing as we come over here. You can see my pace, 4:15, and I thought, no, if I settle into this, I'm going to stay here. So instead, I put in my own little dig round the corner, accelerate out the corner, make it as hard as possible for them to follow me, make it as undesirable as possible because I'm going at a faster pace for them to ask themselves how bad do they want it. And hopefully they say, not that bad today. I'm now at 3:43, 3:42, really finding my groove with this last bit. And that's because I thought I turn this left and then I'll see the finish funnel. And as you can see, it's not there. Third mile there in 6:27. I actually mistimed it. So now I'm hanging on for dear life. I'd put in the effort to finish just about here, and I've got another 150 meters to go. I try and get to these guys before the corner just in case someone's behind me, and I absolutely lay it down to make it to the finish line. And we finish with a 3:44 fifth kilometer and a 19:42 parkrun.
Mate.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back. Classic. We are back.
Now that's a 1942 for 7th place there. First in my age group. That's the first time I've ever got a 1 next to my name to do with anything to do with running. So parkrun or no parkrun, whatever, I'm still really proud of myself. And as you can see, look how jagged my pace is here. Normally it's pretty flat as it's a steady effort, but with all the hills and stuff, it was really testing. You can see that the threshold, the hills were not letting up, constantly pushing you to keep going. The pace distribution, you can see I spent a lot of time in zone 6 as well as zone 5 as well as zone 4 there. So I was pushing really hard today. That was the hardest effort I've ever done. And if you look at my grade adjusted pace, so that works out if there was no hills, that would have been a 19 or sub 19 minute parkrun today. So I'm really excited to go and do a flat, fast parkrun like Worthing with less wind than Hove last time and less hills than Wakehurst today in Tilgate, and really see what I can do.
Whoa, that is Wakehurst parkrun done. I think I did a 19:35, which I am very happy with, considering in the second kilometre I did a 4:06, and I thought to myself, we're in a bit of trouble here. But I wanted, as I said, to go out hard, see if I can hang on. But this hilly course was not the best idea to do that. Got caught at the start, but all good. It's really, can't recommend that enough. It's a really good course. If you want to get faster at running, doing parkruns like that week in, week out is what's going to make you fast. Doing flat ones is good for fast times and stuff, but it's very easy just to take it easy in those situations and just sort of dial it back. Whereas that one, I wanted to stop a few times, but I kept on it. Really happy with that. Now I've just got to find the way out the car park. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going, but yeah, massive thank you to all the volunteers, for Pound Hill Pounders, for putting it on. Absolute legends. Brilliantly run, super lovely people everywhere. I had a good group to run with. Yeah, massive well done to everyone. Yeah.